based on what you own or what you have. Value is not based on what you own or what you have. In fact, I'll drop this jewel on you real quick. Real value is based on what you can do without. It's not about what you can accumulate. It's how functionable are you with nothing. And we can't function on nothing, so that becomes the scale. How low can you go? How deep can you go? Because after a while, if you really become a spiritual being, you don't rely on the world for nothing. Nothing. You enter the world, but you are not dependent upon the world. You're dependent upon invisible forces. What are the invisible forces? Love. People can't see love. They're too busy watching hate. It's all about your perception. Value is not based on what you own.
Looking for calm and peace, it won't matter. You have to love the chaos, you have to love the war, you have to love the idea of all the constant problems that you have to fix, you have to love being the center of a mini universe you have created and it's going to implode under its own gravity if you're not there doing constant Aikido. That's how kings have always felt. Do you think Alexander the Great didn't feel that? You think Julius Caesar didn't feel that? You think Genghis Khan didn't feel that? He's getting all these reports from thousands of miles away that his borders are being attacked by this unknown group of bandits, and he's at constant war in 7 different directions, and his wife's probably complaining at the same time, and his favorite horse just died, and he's walking around doing Mongolian Aikido. Of course he was. That's all anyone who's been important has ever done. We're looking for calm and peace. It won't matter. You have to love. Been through a lot of pain. Men who have been through a lot of pain are very kind. It makes you kinder. You don't want it to be put on anyone else. The biggest gangsters and killers and evil people sometimes can be the kindest. The worst men on earth are the ones who haven't had enough pain. Those are the arrogant pieces of shit people. You're supposed to suffer as a man. And the best men are the ones who suffered the most. Men who have been through a lot.
What have you got to lose?
Exactly. And that was it. And I was like, I have nothing to lose. If everybody who's like at the bottom and feels like they have nothing going for them, reframe that as I have nothing going for me, which also means that I have nothing to lose by taking action. It makes you a much more dangerous person. And I think that was the flip that I've had repeatedly shown to me in my life that allowed me to take the step that I was afraid to take.
What have you got to lose?
Is anyone else like too aware? Like I'm too aware that this is all temporary, this is all part of the human experience, and that nothing matters, and that everything is subconscious programming, and everything is made up. Like the days of the week, that's made up. Monday, someone decided this day is called Monday, this day is called Tuesday. It's all made up. Like humans made everything up. Like money, it's just made up. It doesn't mean anything. Like there are so many different things, like road signs, the street names, like somebody just decided this street is named that name. Like it's so stupid. Like it's really hard for me to live my life and just be a normal person because I'm just too aware. I'm always seeing things from a background perspective. Like I'm seeing everything. I'm seeing through the programming, seeing through the matrix. Does anyone else know what I'm saying, or am I just crazy? Please help me out.
Ever considered that thinking about your problems all the time and talking about your problems all the time literally make the problems grow?
That's right. I mean, it's the #1 symptom of depression is what they call rumination, this pathological obsessing over your pain.
Yeah.
That's why stuff like exercise, that's one of the reasons, aside from chemical reasons, one of the reasons that doing anything, you know that running errands is good for your mental health? Getting out of your house and accomplishing anything is good for you. But sitting around talking and thinking about your problems, that's a bad habit.
Never considered.
The teachings of Christ plays a big role in why we know so much about spirituality today. When he was teaching while he was alive, he was a big threat to the system. The system had people enslaved like they do today, and the teachings of Christ were freeing people from that slavery. Today, you're a slave to money, sex, food, houses, cars, material shit that your flesh wants. Beating the flesh means you're not allowing your flesh to control you anymore. Because when you're controlled by your flesh is actually controlled by the system, meaning the system is controlling you. So I follow Christ because Christ teaches the laws of nature and also how to escape the matrix. He also teaches love and compassion. So I follow Christ, not that shit made up by the people who killed him. When I say
Of course, she loves you when she's going to the restaurants and you're not in jail and you're taking care of her and her rent is paid and you're buying her handbags and you're entertaining her, but does she really love you? When I'm on my private jet and the 10 out of 10 beauty queen goes, I love you. Duh, we're on a private jet on our way to the Swiss Alps.
Yep.
Okay, you love me now, but we're gonna see. And that's the way it is with faith and relationships and friendships and everything else in the world. You learn a lot about the truth that you're at the bottom. And if you're ever at the bottom, or if you're watching this and you're at the bottom right now, just pay attention. A girl
Here's how you know somebody is intelligent. And this is a simple moral maxim about intelligence from the Russian author Dostoevsky, where he basically says, the greater the suffering, the greater the intelligence. Or, in his precise words, pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. And what he meant is that pain is a great teacher. It forces you to grow. It changes you. In fact, wisdom is simply the realization that we all suffer, and that therefore pain is what unites us, for it makes us realize that we are not alone. Hence why Dostoevsky said that the greatest of men must also suffer the greatest sadness. The more you are challenged, the more you will rise, the more you will overcome. The greater the suffering, the greater the intelligence.
You read the papers? Do you know what everybody says? It's suicide! You've seen him, you know how strong he is. You can't win!
No, maybe I can't win. Maybe the only thing I can do is just take everything he's got. But the baby, he's gonna have to kill me. And to kill me, he's gonna have the heart to stand in front of me. And to do that, he's gotta be willing to die himself. Ready to do that.
You read the paper?
Shalom, all praises, glory, honor, and fear, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakadash. Much love to the brothers and the sisters, believers in Yahushai, the new covenant, agreeing with the Lamb, following the Lamb, whithersoever he goeth in these last days, these perilous times. And, we're in the moments of, being persecuted, of going through the straits, going through the narrow path, and we're going through this narrow path. We're going to be losing more things. More things are going to be lost. More things are going to have to be left behind. We're going to lose people, so on and so forth, because we came into this world naked, and naked we shall return. So that was saying, if you're going through hell, keep going. And that's what I've been going through, and the few of us sincere real men of the Lord we're going through hell. We're going through the depths of hell, and the devil is coming down with great wrath, because he has but a short time. So they say if your life is like heaven, you're not gonna get to heaven, you're gonna get to hell. So the Lord, he chastises those he loves, and we're being chastised very sore, but we're still not dead. And there's been many brothers that have been, channels being disappeared, channels being cut off, me myself likewise. And we know this is the time of the end of Esau, but it's also the beginning of our time. So it's a very heavy moment we're living in history, and prophecies are really going off like never before. And I'm going through financial persecution, oppression. I'm like a targeted individual. Everyone that's a chosen one is a targeted individual, and the wicked, they know who we are, just like they knew who Yahushua was. They knew who the apostles were. And I'm going to bring out some scriptures in the Bible to bring this more to light. So the Lord told us, don't think it's strange, your fiery trial, which is to try you. So this is a fiery trial that we're going through. I literally have court dates. I'm walking to go mail in a letter to battle and go against this ticket I got, you know what I'm saying? So I can hopefully get my car back running and go about my business, because I use it for work. And like the brother Maccabee, he did a beautiful lesson, a live stream about how he was being persecuted, you know what I'm saying? He's being oppressed. They try to they took his car and he had to get it back and he had to do that, you know what I'm saying? So, by us being one body in Yahushua and Christ and the Lord Hamashiach, we're all suffering similar likewise things as each other, because we're one body. When one part of the body, one part of the members suffer, all members suffer. When one part of the body is glorified, all part of the body is glorified. And I'm gonna say this too, like, a lot of people have made this truth, they've like commercialized it. They've it's not authentic, like they think it's just about doing videos. Oh, you're in the truth because you're doing videos and you're on the highways. Like, no, like, that's why the Lord said we don't hold the truth in unrighteousness. A lot of people, they're holding this truth in unrighteousness. And what I mean by that is this is, they're not going through the suffering of Yahushua. They're just a friend in name. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys are just talking and talking and talking, but they're not doing. They're not going through what the Lord went through. They're not suffering as he suffered. That's what this truth entails. It entails sacrifice, suffering, and being betrayed, going through hardships, And remember too, the Lord said, though he was rich, he made himself poor. You see? So let's get the first precept. Acts 12:5. Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto God for him. Right? So here it was, Peter, he was in prison, he was in jail. And that's what we are in too. Like, when I got pulled over, the centurion, right, the slave patrollers, that's what they are. These police officers, they're warlocks and they're slave patrollers. And that's literally what we're trying to do. Like, even though I was physically, carnally driving, it, like, where I'm heading, where I'm going towards, I'm trying to free myself and others from the oppression, from the system, from the beast. You know what I'm saying? And as slave patrollers, they want to keep us as slaves. They want to keep us tied to the beast. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm in like a form of prison. I can't drive. I can't, use my car for work. And that's why, I was breaking bread with the brother the other night, and we put together a GoFundMe account, which, Lord willing, it'll reach certain people that can help, get me out of this hole, this pit. But at the end of the day, God's gonna provide, man. The Lord's gonna pull through, and at the end of the day, we are at the end of the world, and the salvation, our deliverance is at hand. You know what I'm saying? Where Revelation 11:18, he's gonna, all the kingdoms of this world are gonna be made the kingdoms of our Lord Yahushua. And that's why, there's all these drones in the news. It's the chariots, man. It's the chariots, UFOs. So it says, so we might come back to Acts 12, but let's go to Matthew 14 and verse 30. It says, verse 29, it says, and he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on water to go to Yahushua. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. Right? So that's what's happening now. The wind is boisterous. You know what I'm saying? We're in the winter. And not just it's physically cold, but it's spiritually cold. The love of many is waxing cold. And another big problem that's wrong with the world is that the wicked the wicked bear rule. You know, the wicked have all the money, the wicked have all the substance and resources, and they hoard it to themselves. You know, they're not charitable, they're not giving. And while the rich, the rich in spirit, the righteous, we're on the bottom. As hard as we work, we're on the bottom. We're being, attacked spiritually, you know, and we don't have a lot of money, and all the prophets of the Lord, they didn't have a lot of, like Peter, gold and silver I have none. So Peter, he didn't have any money, man, but what he did have was the Holy Spirit and that power and Yahweh Shai. And that's all we need, because with men it is impossible, with God all things are possible. So I don't know exactly how. That's why I'm not leaning on my own understanding. I'm trusting the Lord. But the Lord's going to deliver me from these weapons and all these enemies that are coming against me to just destroy my life and take away my living. And it's heavy too. The mark of the beast and all that. So we're in heavy spiritual times. A lot of prophecy is coming to pass, and we're in the thick of it. We're right in the forefront of this war that's waging, this spiritual war. So Peter cried saying, Lord, save me. And that's what I'm crying. I'm saying, Lord, save me. You know what I'm saying? I'm opening my mouth. I'm confessing, what I'm going through. And yeah, it's embarrassing. Yeah, it's humiliating, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't sold my soul to Satan. I don't have... it's heavy. I was talking to Beloved last night too, and we were talking. He said something mad heavy. He was like, we're not like these celebrities and these wicked where, like, they don't have... You think they have issues with their car? You think they have issues with their bills? You think they have issues with their housing and where they live and so on and so forth? No, they don't have that issue. They don't have that problem. We have that problem. You want to know why we have that problem? Because we are not from here. This is not our rest. This is not our kingdom. This is not our home. You see? Just like David said in the Psalms, I am an alien to my family. I'm an alien to this world, We're not from here. We're just pilgrims, So it's heavy too. Lord said, pray your flight beyond the winter. It says, Matthew 14:31, and immediately Yahushua stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? And when they were come into the ship, the wind ceased. See, the wind stopped. The wind that was blowing contrarily and making Peter and the disciples afraid. So immediately Yahushua stretched forth his hand and picked him up. So, aid is coming. And what's heavy too about this time is it's the holy days. It's not the holidays, it's the holy days for us, because we're Israelites. We're children of God, and we keep the commandments and the high holiest of the Lord. And our holy day is the feast of dedication, rededicating the temple that was polluted by the heathens, right? Under Antiochus Epiphanes and Herod. There was ruining the temple. They was defiling it with swine sacrifice, with pork, with pig. It's heavy, that's why they call police pigs, right? And I'm gonna say this, man, real talk. And I was talking to the beloveds, man, like, these cops, man, they be like, oh, we're protecting the people, we're protecting the peace. No, what they're doing is they're destroying people's lives. They're murdering the innocents. They like it says in Zechariah, they murder people and they hold themselves not guilty. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up. And that's why Yahushua has to come back at the end of the day, man. They'll murder someone. They'll murder someone because they was going 40 miles per hour on a 30 mile per hour street. They'll pull them out the car and murder them. And then their punishment is vacation with pay for the rest of their lives. Like, what? Anyways, getting back to the point. The Lord said, agree with that and adversary quickly. And that's what I did, I agreed with my adversary quickly. They was like, oh, give me your keys. I was like, yeah. Because it's like Yahushua. See, everything, when you just follow Yahushua's instructions, no matter what, whenever things happen, you're going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said, if someone asks for your coat, give them your coat. You know what I'm saying? If someone tells you to walk a mile, go 2 miles. Do more than what's even asked of you. See? Because the only thing that's going to happen is you are going to be made stronger. So through all this hell, all this shit I'm going through, I'm being made stronger, for the times we're approaching. Because the times we're approaching, it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. Babylon, America, it's not going to be healed. This world's not going to be healed. It's not going to go back to normal. Trump, don't matter who's in office, you know what I'm saying? The Third World War is here. It's here. With Iran, with China, with Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Syria, this whole thing, it's coming to pass. The word of the Lord is not returned to him void. So let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 12. Verse 11. Verse 10. It says, but thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long-suffering, charity, patience, persecutions, afflictions, which came unto me at Antioch. And I'm gonna say this, man, this whole time I've been away from YouTube, and posting on social media. I've been trying to make a difference so I can be able to help others that are in need, you know what I'm saying? But these curses are real, man. And this is a cursed land, and it's not easy, you know what I'm saying? It's not easy. Everything, all the odds are really against us, you know what I'm saying? So this is legit, just like that movie Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise doing all these things that are just impossible, like riding on a plane, you know what I'm saying? All these things. Like that's literally what we're doing with Yahweh Shai, It's a miracle that me and the few real ones are still doing videos, we're still breathing, we're still alive here, we're still, you know what I'm saying? So it says, persecutions, afflictions, which came unto me at Antioch, at Iconium, at Lystra, which persecutions I endured, but out of them all the Lord delivered me. Yea, and all that will live godly in Yahweh Shai Mashiach shall suffer persecution. So the Lord said, if you don't suffer with him, you're not going to reign with him, you're not going to rule with him. And that's what a lot of people are like. They want to be a Christian, they want to be an Israelite, so that that feel good. They say teach us smooth things. That's why they like the false prophets. I'm saying this, man. That's why a lot of people, they like and they love false prophets, and they give all the money to false prophets. They support, they adore, they promote, they repost false prophets. They're in gay apparel, because they're hand in hand with the wicked, man. They're sold out, but us real prophets, what do we go through? We go through hell, man. We go through being gaslit. We go through having our names defamed. We go through being shamefully reproached. We go through being hated by all men. We go through being lied on. We go through being oppressed, being thrown in prison, being abused, man. Killed, murdered, So let's go to Exodus chapter 5. Let's go to Exodus chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, and afterward Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, thus saith Yahweh, power of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. Right? So what the leaders of our nation was saying, and we're the leaders now, whether you like it or not, and a lot of people don't like it, but it is what it is. We're saying, let our people go, let us go, let us free, so we can serve the Lord, man. So we don't have to work 40, 50, 60, 80, 100 hours just to fucking... I'm so done with this place, man. That's why I feel exactly how Elijah felt. I feel exactly how... Paul felt. Paul said, I'd rather be with the Lord than to be in the flesh, but it's more needful for me to be in the flesh. So there's a reason why I'm still alive and in this body. You know what I'm saying? And like Elijah, when Jezebel was murdering all the prophets and persecuting all the men of the Lord that had hide in the cave. You know what I'm saying? The same concept happening now, man. We're the hidden ones. But anyways, getting to the point, Elijah, he wanted to die. He didn't want to live any longer, man. And the Lord had to send him an angel with that bread to strengthen him, right? So he could go on that journey for 40 days and 40 nights and finish what the Lord had purpose for him in his life, And that's what the Lord's gonna do for me, because I literally feel like dying, man. I don't want to be here. I don't want to live here no more. I don't want to deal with none of this. I just want to be with the Lord. So Lord, he's gonna send the angel with that bread to strengthen me in this time. You know what I'm saying? Let me take care of one thing. I'm gonna restart this video. 2 Ezra 16:73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Right. So, when you put the flesh to the fire, it does not feel good. It is extremely painful to the flesh. And just as Yahushua said, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So, just as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were thrown into that fire. They were thrown into that fiery furnace, because they wouldn't bow down to the false image. They wouldn't bow down to the fake God, the false God, even though everyone else did. See, the same thing is happening to us, and only a few of us, right? It was only 3 then. Now it's only a few of us now as well. We're not bowing down to it. We're not serving men. We're not pleasing men. We're not doing this. We don't do videos. We don't, the way we think, what we believe in is not because of man or for money or social media. It's for the Lord, and by it being authentic and true and sincere, everyone hates that, and the king hates that, and they order us to be thrown into jail and to be thrown into fire and to be fired. Oh, you're fired from the job, So when you go to the book of Daniel, matter of fact, let's go to Proverbs 17:3. It says, the finding part is for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord trieth the hearts. Right? So Lord, he's testing our mind, our heart, and seeing where it really is at. Just like he did to Abraham. He told Abraham, go and on a journey to the wilderness and on the mount and sacrifice your son. And because the Lord did that, because he wanted to see if he was obedient unto him and loved him more than his son. Because who gave Abraham that son? It was the Lord. The Lord gives, he takes away. And by Abraham just trusting in him and obeying him and doing what he told him to do, he was well pleased with him, and he spared the son. So the same concept with us. So let's go to the book of Daniel, chapter 3, verse 6. And whoso falleth not down and worship shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. You see? Threatening. The same thing is happening now, man. And it's like a secret war, and it's just like Brother Seven, man, he was like, there'd be Olympic Games and everything, and everyone's watching the Olympic Games, everyone's talking about them, there's so much money on them, and this, that, and the third, right? But this is the biggest game. This is the biggest fight right here, is the elect, the 144,000, the few of us in these last days that are still standing and still fighting against the wiles of the devil and the system and the beast and his image and his mark, Daniel 3:11, whoso falleth not down and worshipeth it, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. You see that? Heavy. Daniel 3:17, if it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. You see that? Heavy. Because remember when Yahushai was being persecuted and he was coming on the scene, you know, the Pharisees, the Jews, the evil Jews, the false Jews, they was like, oh, we have no king but Caesar. You see, their king is Caesar, bro. Is dead presidents, is money. You see? That's not our God. That's why we have such turmoil with it. We have such problem. It's very problematic for us. You know what I'm saying? It's heavy. It's real. John 12 and verse 23. Sorry, verse 25. He that loveth his life shall lose it. You see? So it may seem like it says in Wisdom of Solomon, in the eyes of the unwise we seem to perish, we seem to die, but our end is full of immortality, heavy. So he that loveth his life shall lose it. I don't love my life, you know. I love the Lord, you know. It says he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal, heavy. So this temporary pain, this temporary hardship, this temporary loss that me and a few others are going through, it's only for a moment, and the glory that's gonna be revealed in us is gonna far outweigh this short season that the devil has, you know what I'm saying, to torment us, you know. Heavy. James 2 verse 5 says, hearken, my beloved brethren, have not God chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him. You see that? So the Lord chose the poor of this world, rich in faith, heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him, right? Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them, woe to the oppressors, right? Woe to these oppressors, woe to these corrupt police officers that all they do is just take people's living away, you know? And they make it seem like they're protecting the peace, you know? Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice this, because it is in the power of their hand. Right, Job 9:24, the earth is given to the power of the hand of the wicked. And they cover fields and take them by violence. Right, the kingdom of heaven is taken by violence, it says. And houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. You see? So, Isaiah 43, verse 1. Verse 2 says, when thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. So, you know, everything that we're going through, we're going to come out of on top. You know what I'm saying? It may not look good, it might look like there's no way out, but there is with the Lord. Everything and anything is possible with the Lord. You see? So, you know, the Lord said in Luke 6 and 26, woe to you when men speak all good about you, for so do they to the false prophets. So us being the real prophets, people will speak evil about us. They're going to talk down on us, talk shit about us. So we, you know, as the servants of the Lord, we're going through the same concept, the same stories of our forefathers, like Job. You know, Job, he had things, you know what I'm saying, but it was stripped from him. It was taken from him, and he still kept his integrity. He still had you know, faith, and he never cursed God or you know, crashed out in a sense, you know. So This is Job 42 and 12. So the Lord Yahweh blessed the latter end of Job more than in its beginning. This is why the Lord said, better is the end of a thing than the beginning. So, you know, the beginning of these sorrows, guess what? The end of Esau is better. The end of all these things, the end of this and losing this and going through this and this hardship, it's actually better than the beginning, you know? So it says, for he had 14,000 sheep and 6,000 camels and 1,000 yoke of oxen and 1,000 she asses. He also had 7 sons and 3 daughters. So the Lord increased him. And, you know, Lord, like you said, he's never going to give you something that you can't handle. You know, he doesn't, you know, put you through things that's going to crush you or destroy you. He puts you through things that's going to make you come out as gold and strong. And that's what we're going through. So this is Job 1 and like Job 2 and 3. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth? You know, and you know, the last precept I'm gonna get is in Matthew, because people think the straight and narrow path is just, you know, God's plan is just walking straight and, you know, nothing happening. No, God's plan is you fall into a ditch, you have to climb out, you have to walk up a mountain, then you fall off the mountain, then you got to swim through water, then you have to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's an adventure, man. We're on an adventure, you know, we're pilgrims, you know? So, like I sent a scripture to my beloved this morning, you know, in James, it says, chapter 1, count it all joy, brethren, when you are put through diverse temptations and trials and things and like this. And that's literally what I'm going through, man. I have a court date for eviction. I got a court date to battle and go against, dispute this ticket, try to get my registration and all that back to be able to work, you know, because I drive for work. And you know, I'm applying to other jobs as well. So yeah, that's just what I'm on right now, you know. And it says, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. So this is Matthew 7:13. It says, enter in at the straight gate. Straight gate is a position of difficulty, you know. You can't bring a lot of things with it. You have to let things go so you can get through it, you see. For wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. 14, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So, you know, we're part of the few that's found it, and we're going through the motions of it, you know. And that's why not many are with us. You know, even in the beginning of this movement, this truth for all of us, you know, we had camps, we had a bunch of brothers, you know, do this, do that, but now it's coming down to the wire, and there's less and less that are actually all in for the Lord and that haven't taken a bribe or sold out, but are just following the Lamb, you know. And that comes with being in isolation and meditation and prayer and being away from society, you know. Like Yahushua, he was in the wilderness, you know, he was alone, you know. Moses, he went to the mountain. He was away from Israel for 40 days and 40 nights, you know. They didn't know what happened to him. And that's what we as the prophets go through. We go through these changes and these evolutions, you know. So I'm gonna close off with John chapter 11, because, you know, Yahushua, he asked the Lord to do something for him so that others would believe on him, that there's nothing he can't do, you see, with the Father. So this is John 11:41. Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid. You see? And that's what me and the few real ones out there we're going through. It's like we're dying daily. What I mean by that is, like, we're having this stripped from us, we're having this taken from us, we're going, you know what I'm saying, you know, it's like we're forgotten, you know. We're known yet not known, you know. So it says, then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid, and Yahushua lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me, and I knew that thou hearest me always, but because of the people which stand by, I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. Verse 43. And when he had spoken, he cried a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. See, so like the Lord said, you know, in Revelation, how that the valley of dry bones, also in Ezekiel, after 3 days they shall live, you know. So this is rededication of the temple. And again, man, like if you hear this video, you know, this is like a SOS, man, like a you know, like, you know, when a ship is sinking and they have to send out that signal. They have to send out that signal that, you know, they need to be assisted, you know, they need aerial help, you know, because they're drowning, you know. So they send their location, and they get saved, Lord willing. Some get saved, you know. The ship goes down, you know, what's left of it, you know. So yeah, man, if I'm gonna put the GoFundMe in the description, and you know, even if you don't have money to help out, if you could, you know, share it on your social media platforms. Like, I'm gonna say this too, like I was telling my woman too, like, yeah, it's embarrassing, yeah, it's humiliating, because I hate asking for things, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I hate asking people, you know, like, I want to be the one that's giving and helping people, but, you know, it's just, humility goes before honor, you know. And, you know, sometimes, you know, we need help, you know. So again, you know, if you can just share the GoFundMe account and put it out there, and those who can help, you know, help. And, you know, even if it's a dollar, you know, if, you know, 10,000 people come across it, they can give it, just donate $1 each, you know, it'll make a big difference, you know. But we're on the last days, man, and, you know, we're in a huge shift in the world. A lot of things are changing, and Lord said, take no thought for your life, man, you know. So take no thought for your life, what you're gonna eat, what you're gonna wear, what you're gonna, you know, this and the third, because again, man, we're in a shift, we're in a huge change in society, in the world, and, you know, we don't know what a day may bring forth. It says in Proverbs 28, we don't know what a day may bring forth, you know. So, Lord willing, I'll be back with another lesson. But all praises, glory, honor, fear Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. We're approaching upon the end of all things, downfall of society, the end of the age of the wicked, of Esau, and the heathens ruling over. And, you know, just stay positive and keep moving forward, you know, because our redemption draweth nigh. Lord's going to save us from all this. He's going to deliver us. He's going to help us and provide. And just always look on the bright side of things, you know. So with that, man, much love. And, you know, again, if you can support, please do. And if you can't support, just still, you know, share it, spread it abroad, you know. Without much love, repent. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Shalom.